We're live at the University of St. Francis for part two of a doubleheader between the Fighting Saints and the Calumet College St. Joseph Crimson Wave. The St. Francis women's team did their job, taking care of business by 52 points, and now the men will try to do the same. They take the floor right now, led by their starting lineup, the guards Malik Bailey, Cole Mysick, and Eric Ting, in the front court of Lewis Holy and Mitch Quasigro. Holy goes up against Lozano Trammell for the opening tip. It is not won by either team. Jumps to the ground and then drops untouched. We'll try it again. George Demos, Rich Driscoll, Kenneth Moreland, today's officials. So we prepare for take two of the tip. That's okay. We started about 6:59, 7 o'clock game. It's won this time by Calumet. Lewis Holy wasn't sure what exactly was going on. And we'll try it again, I think. Make sure we actually get the 7 o'clock start time. That was at 6:59 too. Here we go. It's Trammell against Holy. I think the next time it's tossed in the air. We're doing this thing for real. It is off the head of Lewis Holy. That'll do. Tip won by St. Francis. We are finally underway. Eric Ting passes off to Cole Mysick, and the Saints take the first possession of the game, going from right to left and wearing their home whites today. Calumet in their crimson uniforms, crimson and gray. They are going from left to right. Eric Ting on the left wing, around a screen from Holy, gets into the paint, kicks it into the corner. Mysick for three, a little bit short. Mysick flies in, trying for his own rebound, but it's ripped out of his hands by Corvon Lott. Lott, one of the starting guards for the Crimson Wave, along with Timothy Mays and Dylan Hill. The forwards are Lozano Trammell and Samuel Plazak. Dylan Hill on the outside as it's taken away by Mysick, and the ball now in the hands of Eric Ting. Neither team able to score on their first possession. And now on the Saints' second possession, we've got a foul on the floor. It goes against the man who's on the ground right now. Corvon Lott ran into a screen, and he's called for the foul, though he took the worst of it. It's an inbounds play from St. Francis from the sideline. 57 seconds into the game. Mysick will get it in, looking for Malik Bailey. He finds him down in the corner. Bailey drives the baseline, kicks it out to Holy, who misses on the layup, and the rebound goes to Trammell. Still no score, more than a minute into play. Calumet basketball, it's Dylan Hill. Hill guarded loosely by Ting, walks it to the left, bounces for Trammell, is in between two players. Trammell ultimately picks it up. Ball nearly was taken away. Timothy Mays now has it up top. 6 to shoot. Mays gets inside, kicks to Hill. Long three, Dylan Hill, short, rebound Bailey. Malik Bailey across half court. He pulls up at the three-point line, now drives, pulls up, passes along the baseline to Mysick, who kicks it into the corner for Ting. Ting shoves it to Holy, deflected, back to Ting, gives it up to Malik Bailey, who misses on the three. Holy trying to chase down the rebound, he can't get there. It's out of bounds, and it's Calumet basketball. 18-12 to play, first half. We still have no score. Both teams cold from the field to begin today's proceedings. Here's Dylan Hill walking it towards half court. He wings it back over to his left. Gets it right back. On the right wing, this is Lott. Pull-up jumper from the baseline. No good. Rims out. Rebounded by Malik Bailey. Bailey streaking down the floor. Gets into the lane and is called for the travel. Bailey tried the jump stop. Couldn't pull it off. Calumet basketball. Calumet College of St. Joseph, coached by Ryan Sexton in his 13th season with the Crimson Wave, and he's put together a pretty good team. They're 1-2 this year. They lost their opening CCAC matchup. A ranked team for a large swath of last season. They finished last year with 17 victories. Timothy Mays down to Dylan Hill. Low to Trammell. Trammell backing in against Lewis Holy. Draws the double team from Quasigro. Pass deflected by Holy and picked up by Quasigro. Here comes Mysick trying to break the shutout. Into the paint, kicks it out to Bailey. Swung around Ting. He fakes once, now he drives. Tries the underhanded pass to Holy. Didn't fool Trammell. Crimson Wave on the move. Lott is stripped by Ting. And now the Saints are taking it back the other way. Misick, corner three. Got it. And we are finally on the board. 3 minutes into the action. St. Francis takes a 3-0 lead. Cole Misick had a game-high 22 in the Saints' win over the weekend at Aquinas College. St. Francis 2-0 on the season. They're playing in their second conference game today. Mays up top to Hill. Hill wanted the shot. Bailey got in on him too quickly, and now Bailey takes a step back. Hill does take the shot, misses the three-pointer. Misick gets the rebound. Ting on the right wing. Over to Misick, down to the corner, Bailey. Bailey drives the baseline, kicks it out to Holy. Good ball movement. Ting fakes, drives, pulls up, kicks in the corner. Quasigrove for three, short. Holy offensive rebound. Another three-point attempt for Ting, way off that time. Rebound deflected out to Dylan Hill. Hill trying to run a little bit. He pulls up, kicks it out to Mays. Or rather, Lott. Lott on the drive, draws the foul. Malik Bailey got him going to the basket. 2 free throws coming up for Corvon Lott. 16:06 to play in the first half. Fast-paced action to kick us off today, but not a lot of points to show for that fast-paced action up on the scoreboard at the moment. Just one basket to this point, as the free throw is good for Corvon Lott. So there's their first point. Took them nearly 4 minutes, but typically you go 4 minutes without scoring, you're in some trouble. That's not the case right now because, again, St. Francis hasn't been able to do much for their part offensively. Cole Misick's got the only basket of the game for either team. Both free throws are good. 3-2. Eric Ting slows things down a little bit across half court. Ting gives it out top to Misick, now at the left elbow. This is Mitch Quasigrove. Had a huge game in the home opener last week. Quasigrove tries to drive, can't make any ground right now, so he gives it up to Eric Ting. Ting fade away, off the front iron, no. Lewis Holy working for the rebound. He tips it, and somehow he chases it down. Quasigrove over to Bailey. Malik Bailey for three. That's off the mark. And the rebound this time goes to Samuel Plazak. And then the whistle blows over and back. Plazak got across half court and passed it a little bit too quickly. So it's a turnover. And it's Saints basketball. A couple of subs coming on. Joey Bujemi is in, along with Arnold Agard. Holy and Ting sit down. Misick passes it into Bujemi. Agard up top to Bailey. Malik Bailey backs it up near the midcourt circle. Bounces it. Mitch Quasigrove, step back three, gets it to go. Mitch Quasigrove, it's his first field goal of the game. 3 points for him. Quasigrove came in averaging 13 points per game, 24 in his first game, and 2 in his second. Comes out to an average of 13 as Bailey pokes the ball away from Samuel Plazak and knocks it out of bounds. Substitution coming on for Calumet. Lozano Trammell heads out. New player on the floor is Ian Faulkner. And Jordan Thornton comes on for the Saints. Cole Misick sits down. 6-2 St. Francis, 5 minutes in. Ball's lobbed into Corvon Lott, and Lott takes it back court. Ryan Marks wanted a call, but Lott never had possession before going over the line. 7 seconds to shoot. Lott steps into a three-pointer. Can't get the roll. Calumet still empty from the field. Both their points have come on free throws. Agard into the corner for Bailey. Back up to Agard, who walks it back towards half court. 13 seconds gone on this possession so far. Bailey around a Quasigrove screen. Cuts down the middle. Out to Bujemi for three. Good. First points of the night for Joey Bujemi. 9-2. All of the Saints' points have come on three-pointers. Faulkner up top for Hill. Hill's three ball, no good. Rebounded by the Saints. Their lead is 7 points, and they can add to it here. Agard around a screen to the basket, kicks it into the corner for Thornton. Thornton drives, dishes back down low to Agard, out to Quasigro. Quasigro puts it on the floor, steps into a long two-pointer and drops it. Mitch Quasigro's got a team-high 5 in the early going, and the Saints' lead is 9 points, 11-2. This is where we were a couple of hours ago in the women's game, 11-2, and Saints ran away from there as a traveling violation is called against Calumet, and a timeout called by Calumet. Big lead for St. Francis, 13:31 to play, first half. It's a 9-point advantage. They've hit 3 3-pointers already in today's game. Calumet has not yet converted on a field goal. They do have 2 free throws, and that's all. But a dominant start for the Fighting Saints today, and I mentioned that's what we saw in the women's game too. It's uncanny. 2 hours ago, St. Francis against Calumet St. Joseph started a game much like this. The women's game started 3-0 St. Francis, and then 2 points came for Calumet, and then the Saints went on an 8-0 run, and they never looked back. And here we are in an identical situation here in the men's game. I don't think it's going to go the same way. This Calumet St. Joseph men's team is too good to go down by 50 or more points the way that we saw the final score turned in the women's game. But it is a young Calumet squad. A lot of new faces from when these two teams played each other in January of last year. I guess technically January of this year, but last season. Entering that game last season, Calumet was 16-3. The Saints pulled off a big upset in beating them. And from that point on, Crimson Wave went just 1-11, or 1-8 rather, over their last 9 games. St. Francis comes out of the timeout with a new player on the floor, Carlos Tobias. Calumet College of St. Joseph back with their same 5. Check that, Jermaine Roebuck is in now as well. Arnold Agard holds it on the left side. Agard drives around a double team to the basket, and he lays it in from the left side. First 2 points for Agard. It's 13-2. Corvon Lott passes to his left. This is Roebuck. Roebuck averages nearly 19 points per game, playing off the bench today for the first time this year. That ball is thrown away. Faulkner looking for a cutter, couldn't find one. He throws it straight out of bounds. Another turnover committed by Calumet. It's been a disastrous first 7 minutes for them. For a while, the Saints could not take advantage, as they were slow to get going as well, but they're starting to heat up from the field, and now their lead is 11. 10 seconds gone off this possession so far. Jordan Thornton holds it on the right side around a screen from Quasigro, pulls up at the free throw line, kicks it into the corner. They're going back out to Tobias and around to Thornton as the shot clock winds under 10 seconds. Thornton jump stop in the lane to Agard, reverse layup, no. Rebounded by Roebuck. Jermaine Roebuck hounded by Agard all the way down the floor, and a foul is called on the St. Francis defender. First foul on Agard. It's the second on the team. 24 on the shot clock for Calumet. Not reset. As Jermaine Roebuck gets set to inbound. Roebuck, transfer from Judson University, tosses it into Faulkner and gets it back. To his left, it's Corvon Lott. Lott dribbles around the perimeter, sends it over to Chris Seaton. Seaton's three-point attempt, no good. First shot of the game from Seaton. It doesn't go, but a long rebound is tipped back out to Lott. Corvon Lott over to Plazak, and Plazak travels. Another turnover committed by Calumet. Now 8 minutes into the game. They have yet to hit from the field. Agard passes it over to Tobias. Now back up top to Jemmy. Swung around to Agard on the left wing. Cross court, Pajemi, open look, three-point attempt, no good. Rebound tapped around, brought in by Plazak. Calumet possession, Jermaine Roebuck drives, slips, and we've got a blocking foul called against St. Francis. The foul came on a pass, not a shot. So it will not be free throws here for the Crimson Wave. Foul goes on Carlos Tobias. A couple of subs coming on for the Fighting Saints here. Josh Cherry is into the game, and Lewis Holy comes back on as well. Crimson Wave get it in up top to Plazak. Over to the left side, a fake, now a drive and kick. Out to Plazak, who spins in the lane. Back out to Seaton. Chris Seaton for three, in and out. Rebound in and out of Holy's hands, but he pulls it down on the second effort. Here's Agard, speeding up, slowing down, passing out to Thornton. Jordan Thornton misses on the three. Holy battles for the offensive rebound, misses but draws the foul. Lewis Holy is going up for two shots. The slow start for Calumet has masked poor shooting output so far for St. Francis. They do have a hefty lead here as we near the halfway point of the first half. Lewis Holy at the foul line, a very good free throw shooter. Holy's first attempt of tonight's game is off the mark. Holy now 5 of 8 shooting free throws this year. These are the first free throw attempts of the season for the Fighting Saints. to 2. St. Francis leads by 12. Calumet basketball. Plazak, cross half court, finds Corvon Lott. Lott picks up his dribble, sends it inside for Seaton, who lays it in. 11:05 on the clock, and Calumet finally gets their first field goal. It took them 8 minutes and 55 seconds. They're down by 10. Jordan Thornton takes a step inside the three-point line, misses on the jumper. Tobias comes in for the rebound, falls on top of a defender and can't pull it in. So Calumet comes away with it. Seaton misses on the runner. On the battle for the rebound, a loose ball foul on the Crimson Wave as Holy hits the ground. He's okay. And it will be St. Francis basketball. It's the third foul against Calumet St. Joe's. It's the second already on Jermaine Roebuck. And the Saints inbound from the baseline. 10-point lead at this stage of the game is not anything to crow about. Long way to go here, but for as defensive as this game has been so far, 10 feels, I think, a lot more than it is. See if the Saints can add on a little bit further. Tobias misses on the jumper, and the rebound goes to Jermaine Roebuck. Pushed ahead for Lott. Corvon Lott pops a three-pointer and hits it. Good rhythm shot there for Lott, and suddenly it's just a 7-point game. A quick 5-0 spurt for Calumet. Jordan Thornton up top to Josh Cherry. Cherry fires to a cutting Agard, and Agard lays it in from the right side. Good, strong finish by Agard, and a fine pass by Cherry to set it up. On the other end, Seaton left all alone, and he hits a three. Suddenly, we're going back and forth, running up the score, 16-10. St. Francis holds the lead. A minute and a half ago in game time, there had only been 16 total points scored in 9 minutes, and now 10 in the last minute and a half. Lewis Holy dribbles it up top, passes off to Tobias. He'll try a three and hit it. Carlos Tobias has his first 3 points of the night. For Tobias, it's the first made three-pointer this season. Corvon Lott wanted the shot, passed it off instead. Seaton for three. That misses short, rebounded by Cherry. 9 minutes to play, first half. 9-point lead for the Fighting Saints. Tobias backs it up. Guarded by Plazak, starts a drive, kicks to Agard. Agard into the corner for Thornton. Thornton squares up the three, hits it. Thornton wasn't, it looked like, preparing to take that shot right away, but Defense gave him a little extra space, and he took it. There's Plazak into the corner. A drive from Seton and a kick back to Plazak, way off on the three. Rebound to Lewis Holy. Outlet pass to Tobias, but he slows it down. Lewis Holy steps back beyond the three-point line, puts his shoulder down, starts to drive to the right, hands it off to Agard, fadeaway jumper, Agard too strong, rebound Plazak, and he's fouled by Josh Cherry. 8:03 on the clock, 12-point lead for St. Francis. And the Saints bring in a bunch of subs. Malik Bailey, Eric Ting, Cole Mysick, the starting backcourt, all returned. So Josh Cherry is the only second unit player still in the ball game now. Calumet counters with a substitute of their own. That's Timothy Mays, another starter returning to the floor. It's Mays, Lotz, Roebuck, Faulkner, and Seton on the floor at the moment for Cal St. Joe's. And Lott is trapped by Mysick and Ting. Somehow he gets it away to Seton and sets up Mays for a three. No good. Rebound tipped around. Holy chases it down, and now he's running the other way. Holy down for the layup. It's good, and a foul. Great defense by Holy as he tracks down a long rebound and pushes his way forward. Had numbers going the other way, elected to take it himself, and that was a wise decision. So he's able to hit on the layup, and now a chance to make it a three-point play. He's got 3 points in the game so far, helping his team to a 14-point lead. A bunch of rebounds in this first half for Lewis Holy, who converts on the free throw. He's 2 of 3 from the line so far tonight. Big lead, St. Francis in the first half. Timothy Mays. Mays cuts down the right lane, goes up against Holy and draws the foul. And that's going to be the first foul called against Lewis Holy. Two free throws coming up for Cal St. Joe's. It's Timothy Mays who heads to the line. Mays, a freshman out of Gary, Indiana. One of 5 Gary, Indiana residents on this Calumet St. Joseph's team. Mays misses on the first free throw. It's his first free throw missed this season. I guess not all that amazing. He had been 2 of 2, and now he's 3 of 4. 25-11 is our score. 7.5 minutes to play in the half. Bailey up top to Cherry, left side, Eric Ting. Ting to Mysick coming around a screen, top of the key, drains a three. Pass hit him in rhythm, and he was able to knock down his second three-pointer of the night. 6 points for Cole Mysick, who is the team's leading scorer so far in this young season. Here's a drive from Mays. Passed outside Lott. Corvon Lott dribbles to the corner, misses on the three, short, and a loose ball foul called against the Fighting Saints. That one on Cole Mysick, I believe. It's his first. That's the team's 5th. Actually, I take that back. That call was made against Calumet. It was initially signaled against Mysick, but it goes against Calumet. And now Eric Ting is fouled. And that's the 6th on the team. Corvon Lott picks up his 2nd. So I'm still trying to figure out who that previous foul was on. The official signal number 12. Calumet does not have a number 12 on the floor. Again, the initial signal was, I thought at least that it was on St. Francis. And we'll get it sorted out later. Right now, it is a St. Francis inbounds play. Mysick set to get it in for Josh Cherry. Cherry looking for help. Now he uses his dribble, crosses over, Pulls up over Roebuck and does not get the roll on the jumper. Rebound tipped out to Calumet. Down the floor, Seton, an easy layup. Seton was lying in wait down the other end as Corvon Lott brought down that rebound. He saw his teammate waiting on the offensive side and turns it into an easy deuce. 28-13. Malik Bailey over to Cole Misick. Misick drives with the left hand, kicks it out to Bailey, and a blocking foul is called on Faulkner. 6:16 to play in the first half. Saints have a 15-point lead, and Cole Misick's headed to the free throw line. Misick is a 90% shooter so far this year, 9 of 10 from the line. Cal St. Joe's calls the timeout before these free throws. For Misick, he'll have, I believe, a 1-and-1. He was not looking to shoot on that foul. It looked like he was gearing up to pass. In fact, he did, after the whistle blew, eventually pass. And so it's going to be a 1-and-1 for Misick. But the Saints have a 15-point lead through the first 13:44 of today's game. St. Francis, ranked number 19 in the country in the preseason poll, trying to improve to 3-0 to start the season, and a big 2-0 mark in conference play. After tonight, a couple more conference games before they run back into the non-conference section of their schedule. They're headed down to Texas next weekend. So they'll play after their game next week. They'll play 5 out of 6 out of conference, and then it'll be mostly conference play the rest of the way. First free throw from Misick misses, and so it's 1 and done for St. Francis from the line, coming out of the timeout. Calumet basketball. Jermaine Roebuck passes up top, but in the midst of that pass, we had a foul away from the ball, an offensive foul. It's the 8th on Calumet, and it's the 2nd foul on Chris Seton. So back to St. Francis now, after 3 straight fouls over the last minute on Cal St. Joe's. Eric Ting bounces to Lewis Holy. Holy holds it on the outside, bounces once, hands it to Ting. Ting dribbles into the corner, pulls back outside, fakes the 3, passes up to Mitch Quasigro. 10 to shoot, Quasigro lobs it in for Lewis Holy, deflected away by Seton and out of bounds. Still Saints basketball, only 8 on the shot clock, and Misick will inbound from the sideline. Into the corner, Misick finds Quasigro. Mitch Quasigro dribbles up to the wing, long 2-point jumper, no good. Rebounded by Chris Seton. Down the floor for Jermaine Roebuck. Roebuck holds it on the outside, around a screen, he passes up top. This is Corvon Lott. Lott's had a quiet first half, bounces downstairs, Trammell up over Quasigro, no good. Rebound by Mitch Quasigro. Sends it off to Eric Ting. Ting races down the lane, now pulls up, passes into the corner, Misick. Misick into a triple team, shovels it to Holy, and a travel call. Traveling violation against the Saints. They turn it over with 5:12 to play in the first half. Fowler ahead for Corvon Lott on the right sideline. Lott looks low, now throws it up top instead and has Roebuck at the free throw line. This is Roebuck dribbling in on Quasigro and scoring on the layup. Nice drive by Jermaine Roebuck, bringing Calumet within 13 points with under 5 minutes to play in the half. Quasigro looking for help. Bounces and hands it off to Misick, but it's knocked away by Lott. Corvon Lott in the open floor lays it up and in. Timeout called by St. Francis as Calumet starting to get hot now. 28-17. They've scored 6 consecutive points, and they are as close as they've been in a while now. Fighting Saints dominated this one defensively from the outset. didn't necessarily have the offensive numbers that they were looking for early on. But they were able to pull away because it took Calumet nearly 9 minutes to hit their first field goal of the game. And as a result, Fighting Saints were able to build up a lead of as many as 17 points. I believe 17 is where it maxed out. I might be off by 1 or 2 there, but it was 28-11. That's the biggest lead I remember. And since then, Saints have dried up again from the field. Still a double-digit advantage, and that's been the case for the majority of the game thus far. Quasigro inbounds to Eric Ting, and we're back underway. Coming out of the timeout, Quasigro, Ting, Mysick, Bailey, and Holy on the floor. 5 starters for St. Francis. Foul is called way up top against Timothy Mays. And Eric Ting has a 1-and-1 coming his way. First foul on Mays. Crimson Wave are in some foul trouble. They've got 3 players on the floor right now with 2 fouls. Ting hits on the front end, so he'll get 1 more. First point of the night for Ting. And he makes them both. Ting averaging 8.5 points through the first 2 games as his first 2 points of tonight's action. Here's Corvon Lott dribbling into the corner right side. Sends it across court. Timothy Mays. Mays shovels it back out to Lott. Step back 3. Short. Rebounded by Malik Bailey. Bailey loses it on the pass. Taken away by Lott, and Corvon Lott lays it in. Good defense by Lott. Calumet is back within 11. It's a drive from Ting. Poked out of his hands. Out of bounds. Still Saints basketball. Arnold Agar, Jordan Thornton check in for the Saints. Mysick and Ting check out. Agard is the trigger man with 23 on the shot clock, but before he can pass it in, an offensive foul called against St. Francis. That goes against Mitch Quasigro. It's Quasigro's first foul, team's 6th, so they're at the limit now. Next one will send the Crimson Wave to the free throw line. Timothy Mays bounces over to Roebuck. Bounce low for Trammell. Trammell against Holy, nearly threw it away. Corvon Lott is there to pick it up, and Lott loses the ball out of bounds. Slippery fingers that time. Wasn't poked out of his hands, just came up, tried to grasp a two-handed handle on it, and ball slipped through his fingers. 3:23 on the clock for the first half. Jordan Thornton has the ball in the corner for the Saints. Around a screen, Thornton pulls it up top, fadeaway jumper misses short, and the rebound is brought in by Lozano Trammell, but it's stolen by Malik Bailey. Bailey walks into a 3, no good. Bailey follows his own miss and scores on a layup. Good work by Malik Bailey, following the missed 3-pointer and scoring his first 2 of the night. Mays over to the left side. It's Lott. Seaton to Roebuck on the right wing. 7 to shoot. This is Seaton again, and he's fouled with 5 seconds on the shot clock by Malik Bailey, and that's Bailey's second foul.
Number 0, Malik Bailey, his second, team 7.
Sends Chris Seaton to the free throw line. Joey Bajemi comes off the bench. Lewis Holy comes in. Carlos Tobias is in for Bailey, suddenly in foul trouble. Free throw is good from Seaton. He'll get 1 more. 32-20 is our score with 2:47 to play in the half. Second foul shot is good. He goes 2 of 2 at the line. It's an 11-point game once again. Here's Ronald Agard. Bouncing towards the free throw line, Mitch Quasigro, who's hassled in a double team. Passes off to Carlos Tobias on the left wing. Tobias walks to the top of the key, strokes a three and hits it. Tobias has 5 points. His team leads by 14. Down into the corner. Three-point attempt. Mays in response is good. Timothy Mays has his first field goal of the game. 4 points for him. Agard up to Tobias. Bounced over to Bajemi. And it right back to Tobias. Three-pointer again. He's hit 2 in a row. Carlos Tobias up to 8 points for the game now. It's a season high for him. In fact, he had only 2 through the first 2 games combined. Roebuck misses on the layup. Put back, no. Rebound knocked around, and Agard chases it down in the corner. So Roebuck missed his first chance, tried to tip it back in. Missed it again. Agard on the other end, blocked from behind by Corvon Lott. Here come the Crimson Wave. Into the corner, Seton for 3. Seton misses on the 3, and Tobias comes away with the rebound. He slows it down with 75 seconds to play in the half. Saints have not trailed in this first half. And it looks like they'll carry a lead into the break. Question is, how big will it be? They're trying to extend it right now. Bajemi hands it off to Thornton. Jordan Thornton, long 2 from the corner. A little bit short. Rebounded by Calumet. Plazak gets it ahead to Roebuck. See if Calumet tries a 2-for-1 here. Seton spins into the lane, blocked by Bajemi. The ball loose, and Tobias tracks it down. About a 6-second difference between the shot and game clocks here. Agard for 3, off the mark, rebounded by Roebuck, and now Calumet can hold for 1 shot if they want to. Blocking foul against Jordan Thornton. He created the contact right there with Corvon Lott. Lott's going to the line for a 1-and-1.
Foul bonus number 3, Jordan Thornton, his first team take.
First foul on Thornton. Corvon Lott, a good free throw shooter. He's shot nearly half of the team's attempts this year through the first 3 games, 14 of 16, and he makes the front end. (37-25). Calumet's got the lead. The second shot falls as well for Lott. It's 37-26. Here's Agard with 11 seconds in the first half. Quasigro up top, gets the ball on the floor, into the lane, kicks it out to Thornton. Thornton's got 3 seconds around the screen, fires the long 3 and hits it. And that's how the first half ends. On a Jordan Thornton fadeaway 3-pointer, giving St. Francis a 14-point lead. They've led by double digits most of the way, and they'll carry a 14-point edge into the halftime intermission. 40-26 St. Francis. We've got 15 minutes for the half here, and then we'll be back with second half action. So make sure you're back with us as the Saints try to improve to 3-0 this season, up by 14 at the break. Back in Joliet inside the Sullivan Center, St. Francis leads Calumet St. Joseph 40-26. Fighting Saints have not trailed in this game. They've not been tied, at least not since it was 0-0. And it was 0-0 for quite a while. Neither team scored over the first 3 minutes. Calumet sat on 2 points all the way through the first 9 minutes of action. They didn't make their first field goal until 11:05 to play in the first half, and they recovered nicely from that point on. They really did turn up the offensive heat, but they built a big deficit, and St. Francis has been able to hold on to that lead so far. They've led by double digits for more than half the game to this point. They'll try to keep that going as Calumet takes the ball to start the second half. Starters are back on the floor, it appears, for both teams. Both sides playing with a little bit of foul trouble. Malik Bailey has a pair of fouls for St. Francis. Calumet's got 3 different players with 2 fouls, but only one of them is on the floor as we start the second half, and that's the man with the ball, Corvon Lott, who walks it off to the right and hands it to Dylan Hill, who started but played very sparing minutes in the first half. Plazak hands it back. This is Timothy Mays on the drive. Mays goes up over Mysick and scores. Timothy Mays gets on the scoreboard to start the second half. He's got 6 points for the game. Eric Ting passes to Cole Mysick. Quasigro over to the left wing. It's Ting. Back up top, a drive from Bailey. Kicked into the corner. Ting for 3, no good. Trying to chase down his own rebound, but Lozano Trammell gets to it first. Here's Plazak. Plazak drives from the left side, pass deflected, it's loose, and Dylan Hill chases it down. Hill flings it to the right side, deep 3 for Mays, too strong. Rebound to Mysick. Ahead for Ting. Ting is bumped by Timothy Mays, and that's the second foul on Mays. First foul of the half for either team.
Foul called number 22. Timothy Mays is second.
Eric Ting is the inbounder from the baseline. Ting bounces to Bailey, who freed himself up and finds a wide open layup. Malik Bailey's got 4 points for the evening. Lead is back to 14 for the Saints, who have been up by as many as 17. Free throw line jumper is good for Corvon Lott. Drops in off the backboard, and Lott is up to 13 points, which leads all scorers so far. Corvon Lott entered today's game averaging just a shade under 22 points per game. Ting's wild runner misses, Holy battling for the rebound, but Lott rips it away. Here's Corvon Lott along the sideline. Pulls up, bounces low for Trammell, and Trammell lays it in off the glass. 10-point game. This is as close as it's been in a long time. I think 14-4 may have been the last time this was this close. So I take that back. It's 14-7. Eric Ting lays it off for Holy, and Holy puts it up and in. Nice ball movement there, and a good soft finish for Lewis Holy. Here's Plazak. Over to Lott on the right side. Corvon Lott walks along the sideline, picks up his dribble, sends it into the corner. Plazak to Hill, around to Mays. 11 on the shot clock. Lott from the left side steps back, baseline jumper, perfect. The second half early on looks a lot different from the first half. Quite a bit of offense so far. We've already seen 12 combined points scored. It took us about 8.5 minutes to get to 12 points in the first half. Quasigro trying to add to the total. No, Holy misses on the tip, and Trammell comes down with the rebound. Saints miss on both chances on that possession. Plazak in the corner. Passes up to Mays through his hands, but he sticks with it, and Mays is fouled. Fouled by Eric Ting. Was that on? That's on Cole Mysick rather than Eric Ting. Away from the ball. So Cole Mysick is whistled for his first, and the team's first foul of the half. Mitch Quasigro checks out. Joey Bujemi checks back in. Bujemi had 6 points off the bench in the first half. Trammell down low, working against Bajemi. Turns around, misses, gets his own rebound, back up and in. It's just an 8-point game now. Ting into the corner for Misick. Misick bounces once, nearly threw it away. Ting gets it back and draws the foul. Ting is fouled by Corvon Lawton. That's Lott's third foul. So Lott's got 3 fouls. Chris Seaton is back in the game for Calumet. He's got 2. 3 players for the Crimson Wave with at least 2. Something we'll certainly look out for as this one progresses. Cole Misick passes over to Malik Bailey on the left side of the floor. Around a screen from Holy. Bailey takes it up top. Puts the ball on the floor, gets inside, throws it up off the glass. No, he gets his own rebound and misses again. Third opportunity is good. Bailey stuck with it and he finally gets it to go. Bailey's got 3 field goals today. 2 of them have come on his own putbacks. And now a steal ahead for Bailey and he lays it in. Bailey's got 8 points. And now the Saints lead by 12 thanks to the steal. And the points in transition that time. Dylan Hill this time breaks the pressure pretty easily, getting it away to Plazak. Crimson Wave, slow it down. Bounced into the corner for Trammell. Trammell looking up top for Plazak. He's got him with 7 to shoot. Plazak spins into the lane, gets Ting to fall, puts it up off the backboard and in. Just trading baskets here in the second half. A much more frenetic pace here in the second stanza. Actually, the pace was pretty quick early in the first half. Just neither team was making any of their shots. Things have livened up considerably here. Malik Bailey on the baseline, double team, kicks it out to Joey Bajemi. Up top, Cole Misick at the midcourt circle. Gets the screen from Lewis Holy with 5 to shoot. Misick loses the ball, and it's scooped up by Dylan Hill, who will get credit for the steal. But a double dribble, or a carry, against Lozano Trammell. So Trammell got a little bit ahead of himself, trying to take the ball down the floor. And it's a turnover for Calumet St. Joe's after they had just taken it away from St. Francis themselves. Back-to-back turnovers. Cole Misick is the inbounder here from the sideline. Corvon Lawton his face. 15:05 to play second half. Saints lead by 10, but this is as tight as this game has been for a long while. Eric Ting drives down the lane, gives it off to Lewis Holy. Holy misses underneath. Good help defense there from Jermaine Roebuck, forcing the miss. We're on the other end of the floor. Bounce low for Trammell, guarded by Holy. Trammell backs in, forcing Holy away. Working for position underneath, scores and draws the foul. Great body control down low for the senior Lozano Trammell. Tallest player in the game today at 6'8". And he's got 6 points now with a chance for 1 more as Lewis Holy commits his second foul. Trammell misses on the free throw. Rebound goes to Holy. Bajemi passes off to Misick. Misick in the midcourt circle, 16 to shoot. Bounce to Holy on the left wing. And off to Misick coming around. Into the corner, Eric Ting. Ting gets inside the 3-point line where he's bumped by Jermaine Roebuck. And that's Roebuck's third foul. So now Seaton has 2, and both Roebuck and Lott have 3 fouls for Cal St. Joe's, who trails St. Francis by 8 at the moment. Misick set to inbound. Finally bounces it to Lewis Holy. Poked out of Holy's hands by Trammell. Right back out of bounds. Saints will do it again. 14:15 to play in the second half. Into Eric Ting. Ting bounces to Bajemi on the right elbow. Fired into the corner for Misick. Misick drives and draws a foul on the floor. Cole Misick sitting on 6 points. He got there fairly early. They bottled him up though since then as Mitch Quasigro checks back in. Quasigro spells Lewis Holy. Mitch Quasigro, who scored 24 in his first game here in this building this year, sitting on 5 points so far in today's game. Here's the inbounds from Eric Ting, looking for Bujemi, but a miscommunication, and it's thrown away. Seton comes away with the loose ball. He passes it ahead to Lott, and Lott is fouled from behind by Malik Bailey. That's Bailey's third foul with 14 minutes to go in the half. And that'll be all for now for Malik Bailey, as both Agard and Tobias head to the scorer's table to check in. And actually they'll leave Bailey in with his 3 fouls. It is Ting and Misick who are heading off. Seton gets it into the corner. Back out to the left wing now. Plazak, corner 3, rims out. Offensive rebound, Chris Seton. Oh, rack him up again. Up to the top of the key, it's Corvon Lott. Over to Plazak. 12 to shoot. Roebuck lobs it to the free throw line. Trammell, nice handoff to the cutting Roebuck, who scores on the layup. Calumet is within 6 points, and this is as close as they've been in a long time. Since very early, and a turnover by St. Francis, a careless turnover, as Agard, looking for Tobias, throws it out of bounds. That brings Josh Cherry off of the St. Francis bench, and he'll go right back to the bench with the rest of his teammates because it's a timeout called by Ryan Marks. 13:31 to play in the second half. Just a 30-second timeout, but in the first 6.5 minutes of this half, Calumet St. Joe's has crawled back into it. They've dominated play here in the second half. They've outscored St. Francis 16-8 since halftime. Keep in mind, through the first 6.5 minutes of the first half, Calumet had 2 points, and they did not make their first field goal until 9 minutes into the half. So they came out of halftime fired up. Ryan Sexton's squad has done well to get back into this game, although still trailing by 6. And one of the problems always with falling behind big early is the amount of energy you need to expend just to get back into the game. So the Saints are hoping they're able to wear them down a little bit as this thing goes on, but Calumet is trying to continue their comeback as they've got the ball coming out of the break. Corvon Lott, game high 15 points, holds with the ball just across half court. Lott pulls up, passes to his right. Samuel Plazak up top to Roebuck. Roebuck drives, spins into the lane, scoop shot, no, but a foul is called. That's the 4th foul on Bailey. Ryan Marks left him in after he picked up his 3rd. That was just 46 seconds ago of game time. And now Bailey's going to probably have to be on the bench for a while with those 4 fouls. Jordan Thornton was already at the table ready to check in for him. But now he has to check out with 4 fouls. Roebuck makes the first free throw. So Thornton is in for Bailey. Second shot coming up for Roebuck. Makes them both. So it's now 18-8 in favor of Calumet since halftime. Saints trying to get off the schneid offensively here with Agard dribbling to the right, passing to Josh Cherry. Cherry bounces over to Quasigro. Quasigro bounces once, now steps back, takes a 3, it's short. Offensive rebound, Tobias will reset. Tobias brings it all the way to the top, 15 on the shot clock. Bounced over to Quasigro. Quasigro takes a step to his left, hands it to Tobias, coming around the circle, fires a jumper, no good. Rebound knocked out of bounds, last touched by St. Francis. We're going the other way, another empty possession for the Fighting Saints, who have gone ice cold on offense. Playing now with 4 subs along with Mitch Quasigro. Calumet has the basketball. It's Lott across half court. He bounces over to Roebuck. Jermaine Roebuck holds it on the left wing. Now working on Tobias, passes around to the right side. Around the perimeter, bounce low for Trammell. Trammell gives it up to Roebuck, and Roebuck draws the foul going up. So from the free throw line now, Calumet can make this a 1-score game. 12:26 to play in the second half. Josh Cherry is called for his 2nd foul, and that's already number 5 on St. Francis. Roebuck hit a pair of free throws just moments ago. 71% shooter for the year. He misses the first one this time. Jarrett Gamazel is in for the first time tonight as Carlos Tobias takes a seat. Corvon Lott will grab a quick breather for Calumet. Dylan Hill, freshman guard out of Chicago, is back in. Second free throw for Jermaine Roebuck is perfect. 3-point game. 48-45 is the first time it's been within one score since the Saints had a 4-2 lead early on in the first half. Well, not all that early. Here's Jarrett Gamazel on the left wing. Whip back over to the left side. Quasigrove. Quasigrove fires a three, no good. Tipped towards the sideline, out of bounds, and that was last touched by Calumet. Saints ball, still leading by 3, still ice cold, trying to find somebody to break them out of this shooting slump. Jordan Thornton is the inbounder here. Thornton's a guy who, over his career here, has provided a spark off the bench a number of times. Yet to score in the second half today is Cherry. Hands it off to Agard. Agard steps into a short jumper and scores. Big bucket there for Arnold Agard, stopping a long Calumet run. Their score is 50-45. Dylan Hill passes to his left. Seaton, deep three. A little bit short, rebounded by Quasigrove. Agard, outlet pass to Jordan Thornton. Thornton racing down the lane, kicks it out to Quasigrove. Quasigrove drives, pulls up 10 feet out, passes to Cherry. Elbow jumper way off. Rebounded by Roebuck. Jermaine Roebuck scoops it up, passes off to Plazak, gets it back. Now lob down low for Trammell. Trammell's had a great second half down low, but this time he takes an extra step before putting up his shot. It's a travel. 11-11 to go. 50-45 St. Francis. Timothy Mays is back in, as is Ian Faulkner for Calumet. Justin Uju checks in for Josh Cherry for St. Francis. And Uju is making his first appearance this season. Third game of the year. Saints trying to hold on to this lead and improve to 3-0 for the season. Agard across the timeline, shadowed by Dylan Hill. Passes to his left and Uju. Down into the corner, Agard drives the baseline, kicks it out to Gamazel, in and out of his hands. Looked like a miscommunication. Gamazel was getting ready to cut. Pass went to the corner spot. He was not ready to receive it there. So another turnover committed by St. Francis. And the clock never started there, so that's why the whistle. We're going to inbound from the sideline. Once we get this reset, shot clock down to 25. And the game clock should be, I would think, at 10:45 or 49, that is. 10:50 they reset it to. And the shot clock up to 25 seconds. So 10:50 on the game clock, 25 on the shot clock. Back underway as the ball is inbounded to Dylan Hill. Hill bounces up top, Jermaine Roebuck. Roebuck drives around Uju, gets to the basket, draws the contact, no call, but the bucket is good. Jermaine Roebuck scores another 2. He's up to 9 points for the ball game. It's a 3-point affair. Mitch Quasigrove shovels it off to Agard. Agard around a screen to the left, pulls up top of the key, finds Uju on the right wing. Uju backs it up, guarded by Plazak, over to Gamazel up top. Gamazel around a screen to the right side. He drives, takes it to the hoop himself, tries to bank it in, a little bit short, rebounded by Roebuck. Saints come up empty. A 3-pointer from Calumet would tie the score here. Dylan Hill out at the midcourt circle, bounces to his left. Faulkner rolls it down low, turnaround jumper, Roebuck is good. It's a 1-point game with 9:50 to play. Has not been this close since it was 3-2. St. Francis has not trailed all night. And that's thrown away by Agard. Thornton tries to save it. A little bit late though. Agard and Uju not on the same page there. The ball sails out of bounds with 9:39 to play in the second half. Calumet St. Joe's has a chance to take their first lead all night. 50-49. Calumet has outscored St. Francis 23-10 since halftime. Timothy Mays bounces it down to Roebuck. Jermaine Roebuck, jumper in the face of Uju, drills it. And Calumet takes a 51-50 lead. Seen 2 games on this floor tonight. St. Francis women and then the St. Francis men against Calumet St. Joseph. And that entire night, 71 minutes of basketball. This is the first time that a Calumet team has taken a lead. Foul is called on Jermaine Roebuck, and that's big number 4 on him. And that's one thing that continues to work in St. Francis's favor right now, despite all their problems in this second half. The Crimson Wave remain in foul trouble. 4th on Roebuck, he has to take a seat. Corvon Lott, who got a nice rest, is back in. He's playing with 3 fouls. Eric Ting back in the game for St. Francis is the inbounder here. Ting gets it into Thornton. Quick 3-pointer off the inbounds pass is good. And St. Francis is back in front. It was a brief deficit for St. Francis. Less than 30 seconds later, they're back in front. Now they'll try to hold this lead. Here's Dylan Hill walking it off to the right side, guarded by Ting. And a foul is called on Eric Ting. That'll be his first. Sixth foul on the team, so the next one will put Calumet on the free throw line. Lewis Holy comes off the bench. Mitch Quasigro is out. Ball is inbounded to Dylan Hill. Hill back at half court, starts to walk his way down the right sideline. Guarded by Ting, passed up top to Lott. Swung around to the right side. There's the handoff to Mays. Timothy Mays with 5 seconds to shoot. Gives it up top to Lott. He has to fire up a long 3 and he hits it. Back and forth we go here at the Sullivan Center, 54-53. Not a single lead change for the first 30 minutes of this game, and now we've seen 3 of them in the last minute plus. Eric Ting bounces to the free throw line, and Uju, Justin Uju, bounces his way into the paint, draws the foul going up. Uju, a junior transfer from Elgin Community College, has a chance here for his first points of the season. Foul is called on Ian Faulkner, and that's Faulkner's 3rd foul. First free throw misses from Uju. So the best he can do here is tie it at 54. Exactly 8 minutes remaining in the second half. Well, tonight's exciting action. St. Francis against Calumet College of St. Joseph. Uju makes 1 of 2, and for the first time tonight, we're tied. 54 all. Trapped in the backcourt, Mays is able to get it across the timeline to Dylan Hill. Over to his left, Corvon Lott now. Lott walks it off to the right, half the shot clock is gone. Into the corner, Plazak. Bounce down low to Faulkner and back outside. Hill, 8 seconds to shoot, top of the key. Hill guarded by Uju, drives to the left, loses the ball, knocked out of bounds, and Hill was the last one to touch it. It's a turnover, and it's St. Francis basketball, 7:33 to play. Uju will inbound to Ting here. Eric Ting across the timeline, passes to Gamazel over on the left side, up top Uju. Uju to Ting on the right. Ting back to half court and Thornton. Saints working around the perimeter. They find Gamazel for an open 3, in and out. And a loose ball foul called on Justin Uju. That's going to send us to the other side of the floor for free throws. Good ball movement on that possession for the Saints. They got the shot they wanted. Jared Gamazel, an open look. Just couldn't quite get it to go. Gamazel, who was a strong three-point shooter for the Saints last year, really struggling with that outside shot in the early going this season. Just 1 of 8 from three-point range, including that miss. That sets up Samuel Plazak for a 1-and-1. Plazak is a perfect 3 for 3 on free throws this year. Misick checks back in for Gamazel. Samuel Plazak, 6'6" tall senior from London, England. Lozano Trammell back in for Calumet. Plazak misses on the front end, rebounded by Lewis Holy. Saints can reclaim the lead here on this possession, tied at 54. It's Eric Ting spacing his teammates out. He bounces to Lewis Holy on the right side. Holy hands it back to Ting. Left corner, Thornton, 3, got it. Jordan Thornton puts the Saints back ahead by 3 points, 57-54. Calumet basketball. Here's for Von Lotz up top to Dylan Hill. Timothy Mays, wide open 3 from the left side. Couldn't tie it up. Rimmed out on the three-point shot. Rebound to the Saints, and now they can pull away slightly further again as Eric Ting shovels it off to Misick. Out to Thornton, faked the 3 this time. Mays got in on him a little bit too quickly, and so Thornton pulls it back to half court. 15 to shoot. It's Holy driving from the right side, and he's bumped by Trammell. A foul called, and that'll send Lewis Holy to the free throw line. That's the first foul on Trammell, and it puts the Fighting Saints in the bonus. So 1-and-1 here for Lewis Holy. Holy's got 6 points so far in the game. Averaged 8.5 through the first 2. And he makes the first free throw. 2-score lead once again for St. Francis. They were up by double digits for most of the first half, but Calumet went on a big run to open up the second half. They outscored them 25-10 right out of the gate to take their first lead. And Holy will have to settle for a 4-point lead as he makes 1 of 2. 58-54 is the score. Lott passes over to Hill. Back up top. This is Jermaine Roebuck. Roebuck, a 3-pointer in the face of Uju, and he misses. Rebound to Thornton. Roebuck has not been shy about jacking up long jumpers, even with a defender on him. He's hit a few, not that time. Thornton bounces over to Misick. Now it's Uju. Back to Eric Ting on the right side. Down low, Lewis Holy. Holy up over Trammell. No, battling for the rebound. It's loose, and it rolls all the way out to the 3-point line where Thornton picks it up and misses on the long jumper. Rebound goes to Calumet. Crimson Wave have the basketball, trailing by 4, just under 5.5 minutes to play. On the right side, it's Jermaine Roebuck. Up top, Dylan Hill. Hill, guarded by Cole Misick, steps back. Resets the offense. Bounce down low for Trammell. 10 to shoot. Trammell turns, faces the hoop, spins around Lewis Holy to the hoop. No good, but he'll go to the free throw line as Holy is whistled for his 3rd foul of the game. Good move by Lozano Trammell. He's been a little inconsistent down low, but he's shown some solid post moves at times. And has done a very nice job of getting himself to the line. He's got 6 points in the game, and he's got 2 free throws coming his way right now. First free throw misses, is not a 1-and-1. It's a shooting foul. Mitch Quasigro is back in for Justin Uju. Getting his first action of the season, gave Ryan Marks some good minutes tonight. To make it a 1-score game, the second shot from Trammell misses off the front iron. Rebounded by Lewis Holy. Still a 4-point lead for St. Francis. We've been sitting at 58-54 for a while now. Here's Quasigro on the left wing, up top to Misick. Misick puts the ball on the floor, kicks it in the corner. Thornton for 3, no, but he's fouled. And Jordan Thornton has 3 free throws coming up as he gives the Saints a chance to pull away here in the late minutes of tonight's game.
Foul number 25, Dylan Hill.
He can make this a 7-point game from the free throw line as Dylan Hill has whistled for his first foul of the night. Thornton's first free throw is on the money. 13 points tonight for Jordan Thornton. Kind of quietly has led St. Francis scorers. Leads them by a greater margin now, 14 points for Thornton. 4:55 on the clock. The lead is back to 6. Calumet St. Joe started out this second half on a 25-10 run to wrest the lead away from the Fighting Saints as Thornton makes the third free throw as well. Since then, St. Francis has led 11-3, and they've recaptured control of this game. They're on a 7-0 run right now. Timeout called by Calumet St. Joe's. 4:46 to play. Second half, it's a full timeout. St. Francis took a good shot from Calumet early in this second half. A long way to go before we can say that they completely weathered the storm, but they're on the path to doing that. They're in good shape right now, up by 7 points. Starting to get late in this game. And I mentioned it before, one of the issues with falling behind early, even if you do get hot, you have to expend so much energy in coming back. And one thing that Ryan Marks has done well tonight, he's utilized his bench quite a bit. We've seen big minutes from some of the reserves, Joey Bajemi, Carlos Tobias, more in the first half. And here in the second half, we've seen a lot of Arnold Agard and Justin Uju. Jared Gamazel was out there for a little while. Jordan Thornton has played a lot of minutes, and in part because of Malik Bailey's foul trouble, he's had to. Bailey's been on the bench now for almost 9 minutes after picking up his 4th foul, and that's really when Calumet finished off their run and moved ahead for the first time. It was right after Bailey had to check out. But the Saints have done a nice job without one of their top scorers, as they've righted the ship and moved back out in front, and in large part because of the offensive outburst of Jordan Thornton, who's got 15 points tonight. Thornton was averaging 10 a game coming into tonight. Calumet basketball out of the timeout. Jermaine Roebuck is the inbounder, and he finds Lozano Trammell. Right back to Roebuck, who drives from the right side. Floater off the back iron, no good. Rebound loose and kicked, but who kicked it? St. Francis did. Either Holy or Quasi-Go, I don't know. A lot of limbs jumbled up there. I didn't see whose foot touched the ball. But credit to the official, he did. Here's the inbounds play from Lott to Roebuck. Right back to Corvon Lott. 3 ball, no good. Long rebound, still loose. Holy tries to tip it. He can't control it though, and finally Lott falls on top of the ball and calls timeout. Nicely handled there by Corvon Lott. As he's able to secure possession for Calumet, they'll have 20 seconds on the shot clock when we resume play coming out of this break. 61-54 St. Francis, 4.5 minutes to go. It's been an interesting ball game tonight. Early on, neither team could score. Relatively ugly basketball for the first 5 or 6 minutes, and then the Saints got hot. They left Calumet in the dust. Calumet didn't get their first field goal until 8 minutes and 55 seconds into the game. And they trailed big for the whole first half, or for most of it anyway. It was a 14-point game at halftime. And then Calumet came out hot in the second half. They erased that 14-point deficit in the blink of an eye and took a 1-point lead. But the Saints were able to get back on track after that. They're on a 7-0 run right now. And we're back up 61-54. Calumet basketball. Roebuck on the drive, scores, and a free throw coming. Nice play out of the timeout. Trammell sets up Roebuck, who's now got 15 points. Chance at a 3-point play here as Quasi-Go is called for his second foul. Free throw is good. It is a three-point play. And just like that, the 7-0 run for St. Francis is erased. And Calumet St. Joe's is right back within 4 points. Ting over to Thornton. Thornton lobs it to the elbow. It's Mitch Quasigro. Quasigro turns to face the basket, fires down low. Lewis Holy blocked by Trammell. Holy gets it right back up with the left hand and in. Great work by Lewis Holy, keeping it alive even as his shot was blocked. He kept going, and he's now got 9 points. His team is up by 6. Lott backs it up to half court. Setting his guys up in the middle of the floor as he dribbles off to the right side, picks it up, passes down low for Trammell. Trammell working in on Holy, misses off the glass, rebound to Ting. Well defended by Holy that time. Ting over to Quasigro. Quasigro jump stop in the lane, kicks it back outside Misick, and Misick will reset the possession with 20 on the shot clock. Over to the left, Jordan Thornton. Thornton gets a screen from Holy, drives to the right, into the corner, Ting. Back outside, Quasigro, open look for three. It's short, offensive rebound, Thornton back to the basket, fouled, and he'll get 2 free throws. 3:09 to play, second half, 6-point lead Fighting Saints. Jordan Thornton is going to the free throw line as that foul against Lozano Trammell is his second. Saints will get 2 free throws on every foul the rest of the way. First one from Jordan Thornton is good. He's at 16 points. That ties his season high. Granted, only in the 3rd game of the season. But he's at 16 for the 2nd time in those 3 games. Plazak comes back in off the bench for Chris Seaton for the Crimson Wave. Thornton's second foul shot, in and out. Rebound to Jermaine Roebuck. Calumet still alive, down by 7 with plenty of time here. 3 minutes on the clock. Roebuck drives from the right side. Quasigro comes over for the block, but the foul is called, I think, on Jordan Thornton with the body. Nope, it's on Quasigro. So Quasigro whistled for the foul as he came over and sent that ball out of bounds. And Jermaine Roebuck is going back to the free throw line, where he was successful just moments ago. Roebuck's been to the line a lot tonight. He's been largely successful. And once again right here, 64-58. Both teams are in the double bonus now, so it's a game that certainly could come down to free throws. Second shot falls. 5-point game. Eric Ting, Mitch Quasigro working in the back court right now for St. Francis, and Ting gets it across the line, throws it off the leg of Roebuck. He was looking for Misick. Roebuck got in the way, knocked it out of bounds. Kicking is the call. Doesn't matter, went out of bounds anyway. Cole Misick set to inbound. Finds Lewis Holy on the right side. Holy shovels it back to Misick. Over to Eric Ting. Ting on the left wing gets the screen from Holy. Cuts down the baseline, kicks it out to an open shooter. Quasigro misses on the 3. Good look for Quasigro, but his shot hasn't quite been there tonight. The lead remains 5 for St. Francis. Here's a drive from Lott, stripped by Thornton, but a foul called. And Corvon Lott is going to the free throw line as soon as he's able to get up. Down on the floor, looks like he took a pretty good fall after the foul was called against Jordan Thornton. It's the 2nd foul on Thornton. And Lott's still on the ground, grabbing at his head. I didn't see how hard he fell, but the foul didn't seem to be dramatic contact, so I'm assuming any injury here would have been on the fall and not on the contact with Thornton. The players for St. Francis will clear the floor and give training staff a moment to have a look at Corvon Lott. 2 minutes, 26 seconds to play in the second half of tonight's game. St. Francis held a 40-26 lead at halftime. Second half has been controlled by Calumet St. Joseph, but they trail by 5 with Just under 2.5 minutes to play. Corvon Lott gets himself up and walks off towards the sideline. He appears to be doing okay for now. We'll see, though, if he can stay in the game to shoot these free throws. Big pair of free throws scheduled to be taken by Corvon Lott. Taking a look over to the other sideline, it looks like Malik Bailey is going to be coming in now for Jordan Thornton after Thornton picked up the foul. Bailey has been on the bench for the last 11 minutes after picking up his 4th foul. And Lott is all right. He's going to stay in the game and take the free throws. Ting, Mysick, Bailey, Holy, and Quasigro. 5 starters are on the floor for St. Francis. Here we go. Lott's set to shoot his first free throw. It's good. He can make it a 1-possession game if he makes the second. Two for two. Corvon Lott's got 20 points for the game now. It's a 3-point contest. Mitch Quasigro throws it away down to the corner. Holy saves it, but right to Samuel Plazak of Calumet. And now the Crimson Wave are on the run. Quasigro strips it away from Robach. Down on the other end, it's Holy. Holy's layup is blocked, but he's fouled from behind by Plazak. So Lewis Holy's going to the free throw line. Big turn of events right there. Turnover committed by St. Francis as Quasigro airmailed a pass down court. Turned into what looked like it was going to become 2 points for Calumet, but the Saints were able to take it back. Set up Lewis Holy on the other end, and now Holy has 2 free throws. This is the first. He's got one more coming. It's a big miss, but if he makes the second at least, he can again make it a 2-score game, which is not necessarily a huge deal for Calumet. There's still over 2 minutes on the clock, so they've got plenty of time to erase a 3 or a 4-point deficit. Second shot is good from Holy. So Lewis Holy's in double figures now. He's got 10 points, and St. Francis calls timeout. Full timeout with 190 seconds to play in the game. St. Francis Fighting Saints trying to hold off Calumet College of St. Joseph. The Saints have led by as many as 17 points. Calumet has been up by as many as 2 points. 53-51 was their biggest lead. It was one of only 2 leads they've had today. It was 51-50. Actually, 51-50 was their first lead, and then they led 54-53 was their second lead. So they have only led by as many as 1 point. My mistake. So the Saints have been up for all but about 30 seconds of total game time right now. They were up by double digits for almost the entire first half. And they find themselves in position of just trying to hold off Calumet late. It's been a bit of a choppy game lately, just because of all the fouls we've seen, brief injury break, and a couple of timeouts lately. So we have not seen a lot of flow over the last several minutes of this one, and we really haven't seen great shooting throughout this second half, certainly by the Saints and lately by the Crimson Wave as well. So it has not been a great shooting second half for either team. Again, Calumet got hot right out of halftime, but they've slowed down, and it's really been a battle of rebounds and free throws. Calumet across half court, coming out of the timeout. Corvon Lott hands it off to Roebuck, and now Mays swings it around to the right side. 13 on the shot clock. They've still been outside the perimeter the entire possession. Just 7 to shoot. Corvon Lott gets his man in the air, drives in, and floats it through. Beautiful fake by Corvon Lott there. And Lott's able to make his way to the basket for a 13-foot leaner to make it a 2-point contest. Here's Cole Misick getting around one defender, now two, and fouled from behind by Plazak. And that's Plazak's second foul. Saints are in the double bonus, so Misick gets 2 free throws right here. Two big free throws for Misick. He has not scored in the second half yet. 6 points in the game. He came in leading the team, averaging 16 points per game. And this is the first free throw. Misick, a 90% shooter from the line coming in. Just 1 of 3 so far in tonight's game. Second free throw attempt from the senior guard is good. Saints lead by 3. St. Francis has played 3 games this year, and all of them have come down to the final couple of minutes. Come from behind victory. They took out Indiana Northwest by 4 last Wednesday night, and then on the road this weekend against Aquinas. They were able to hold off Aquinas College by 2 points, 68-66 final. And this is a 1-score game here as we come down to the final minute. Lozano Trammell bounces it off to Lott. It's knocked away from Corvon Lott. Mitch Quasigro gets the strip, but he knocked it out of bounds. It stays with the Crimson Wave. 11 on the shot clock. And a timeout is called by Calumet. Neither team was all that liberal in terms of calling timeouts in the first half, and so both sides have multiple timeouts for the final couple of minutes here in the second half. And we've seen both coaches stop play recently, making sure that all their ducks are lined up in a row here for the big home stretch of this game. Again, I said it just a few moments ago, but the Saints have only trailed for less than a minute of game time tonight, and yet Calumet has the ball right now in position to potentially tie the score. A 3-pointer would even it up. They haven't had a lot of hot shooting from the outside so far today. It's a team that has not been great shooting the ball from the outside all year, but Corvon Lott has been lights out all season shooting threes, and he's had a nice game today. 22 points for the sophomore guard who came in averaging that number, 22 points per game this year through the first 3. Lott was able to light up the scoreboard last year when he faced the Fighting Saints as a freshman. He scored 21 points on 8 of 14 shooting. But it wasn't enough as St. Francis came away with a close victory against Calumet St. Joe's. That was a 65-60 final score 10 months ago, last time they met up. Inbounds played a lot. 3-pointer comes up short. Rebound knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Lewis Holy. And with 1:06 on the clock, Calumet gets a fresh 20 on the shot clock and restarts this possession from the baseline. Timeout called before the inbounds play. Looked like Corvon Lott was going to be the trigger man that time around. On the previous play, they inbounded it to Lott. He took a quick 3-pointer immediately off the inbounds pass. And he got a good look, couldn't quite finish it off. That's, I'm sure, just what Sexton was looking for. Ryan Sexton, the longtime head coach at Calumet St. Joe's. Drew up a nice play out of the timeout, but they were not able to tie up the score. Now they'll try it again here. With just 66 seconds still to play. St. Francis was up by as many as 17 in the first half, but here in the second half, even after Calumet went on their big run and came back to take the lead, the Saints went on an 8-0 run to turn a 54-53 deficit into a 61-54 lead. So as recently as a few minutes ago in game time, they were ahead by 7 points. Right now, that advantage is just 3. Calumet's been knocking at the door, but ever since that great burst coming out of halftime, they have not been able to shoot the ball all that well. And really, they've stayed in the game by shooting free throws. That's been the biggest key. They come out of the timeout here, ready to inbound it from the baseline. Plazak will be throwing it in here. He's got Mays, Lott, Roebuck, and Trammell on the floor with him. Saints come out with Jordan Thornton in place of Cole Mysick. Other than that, they've got the starters on the floor. The ball is lobbed into Roebuck. Roebuck drives, draws the foul before the shot. Eric Ting got in his way and grabbed him. 2 free throws coming up, but his made layup does not count, and so he will not get a chance to tie the score from the line. Jermaine Roebuck has set up a tent at the free throw line. He's been there the whole second half. He's been able to move in. 18 points for the senior Roebuck. Make it 19 as he makes the first free throw. Mysick is back in for Thornton to set up the offense on the other end. Saints will presumably get the ball back with just over a minute. It's assuming that either this free throw is made or missed and the Saints get the rebound. Roebuck makes the second free throw. It's a 1-point game, 66-65. Saints basketball and a lot of time left here. Crimson Wave try to trap in the backcourt, but Mysick gets it away to Quasigro, and the Saints are able to break the pressure. We've got less than a minute to play. Cole Mysick holds it on the outside near half court. Shot clock is down to 13 as he makes a move to the left. Bailey hands it back to Mysick. Mysick drives, gets inside, fires it in the corner. Bailey, he fakes, drives, kicks. Mysick with 4 to shoot, drives the lane, puts up the layup with the right hand. No good, rebound to Plazak. And with 30 seconds to go, the Crimson Wave have a chance to take the lead. 4 seconds differentiate the shot and game clock here as Corvon Lott dribbles off to the right side, fires a 3. It's good. And for the first time today, Calumet has a multi-point lead. 68-66, 17 seconds to play. Saints basketball. No timeout called by Ryan Marks. 12 seconds on the clock. Bailey dribbles it to the midcourt circle. Saints taking their time here. Now Bailey drives, loses the ball, knocked out of bounds. It'll stay with St. Francis. 68-66, Calumet leads, and this time the Fighting Saints do call a timeout. 6.7 on the clock, and the Calumet fans starting to crow a little bit as their team has taken their biggest lead of the night. They waited until the final minute, and they have a 2-point advantage, 68-66. Calumet has led for barely a minute of the 40 in tonight's game, and yet they have that critical lead up by 2 with just a few seconds left on the clock. The Saints will be inbounding from underneath Calumet's basket, so they're in good position to get a shot off here. Ryan Marks drawing up a play, and if you're looking for the Saints to win this game in regulation rather than set up overtime, they'll have their shooters on the floor, I'm sure. They have not shot the ball well tonight, but Malik Bailey, Cole Mysick, have both proven themselves over the course of their college career to be excellent outside shooters. And we just saw Calumet go to their best shooter, Corvon Lott. When they only needed a 2 to take the lead, Lott fired a 3-pointer, and he gave his team a 2-point advantage with his 23rd, 24th, and 25th points of the night. And if Calumet is able to hang on and win this game, that'll be reason number 1. Corvon Lott has had a huge second half and really performed pretty well in the first half as well, even though his team struggled to a 14-point halftime deficit. This would be a huge comeback win for Calumet if they're able to hold off the Saints over the final 6 seconds. St. Francis out of timeouts. They've got to get the ball in to Quasigro. It's stripped. Goes loose to Bailey. Bailey juggles it. Floats it up. No good. On the rebound, Holy floats it up to the basket. Off the rim and no good. And Calumet storms the court after a great come-from-behind victory. A thriller. And a big win for the Crimson Wave as Corvon Lott is lifted into the air by his teammates for the game-winning 3-pointer with just under 30 seconds to go. And the Saints had a few chances on that final possession. The last couple of seconds, Holy fired up a prayer at the buzzer, and it looked like it had a shot to go, but hit off the backboard. hit the back iron and fell just out. For the first time this season, the number 19 ranked Fighting Saints find themselves on the losing end. 68-66, the final score today. Jordan Thornton led the way for the Fighting Saints with 16 points. He was joined in double figures by Lewis Holy, who finished up with 10, and Holy just missed 11 and 12 at the end, which would have sent us to an extra period. But the Saints fall to 2-1 on the season, 1-1 in CCAC play. Calumet led by Corvon Lott, who had 25 points, 20 for the senior forward Jermaine Roebuck off the bench. Calumet improves to 2-2 overall. They're now an even 1-1 in CCAC play as well. For the Saints, they're back at it on the road this weekend. They're at Trinity Christian Saturday afternoon. That's a 3 o'clock start time at Trinity, and then back at home next Tuesday night, a 7 o'clock start time, Tuesday, September 19th. And we'll have the broadcast for you here, as always, through the USF Sports Network. That's going to do it for today's broadcast. Thanks for tuning in. Saints win one and lose one. The women's team comes away with a big victory, and the men's team drops a heartbreaking 2-point decision to Calumet St. Joe. 68-66, our final score. That's all for me tonight. Thanks for tuning in as the Saints drop their record to 2-1 on the season. Until next time, Terry Bonadonna signing off for the University of St. Francis. Good night, all.